Hey gang, back for week 5. I took week 4 off from Weekly Beats. So yeah, making a song every week as part of Weekly Beats 2026. Took week 4 off just to protect the flow. I wasn't burnt out or anything, but I just wanted to chill for a week. I'll talk more about that. But again, my structure of these videos, I talk about 3 things. First thing is my goals for the week for the song. Second part is what I did, typically where I just show off the track like I have here up on my desktop. And the third thing is what I learned. So let's get into it. This is a good week, a lot of changes, a lot of dynamic things happening. So let's get into it. First part, what were my goals for the week? So top goal this week was to better learn the effects in VSTs and effects in Reaper. Reaper has a lot of these built-in effects that come part of Reaper, but they're very basic UI, and I'm kind of not used to that. I'm used to things that are a little bit more, I can't think of the word, but it looks like the actual thing. There's a term for it, can't think of it, but I did learn some good things. I learned a little bit better ways to use the compression and the EQ. And then I discovered some other VSTs, which I'll talk again more about. So that was the biggest goal, learn how to better use the effects present in Reaper and utilize those. My reference song is a song called Hey Listen, kind of like Navi in Zelda. And it's by a artist called Lotus Face. Excellent song. It was a reference for most of what I did, and then I kind of left that. So yeah, you'll see as I explain the song a little bit more. Oh, and the other thing is I picked up an MPK Mini. Let's get that. One of these guys, which was great. And so I used this actually to write all of the key parts in this track. And so learning how to use that with Reaper was a big part, a big goal for this week. All right, so part 2. What did I do? So my track, initially, it started as, if you listen to the reference track, you'll see, but it started as a very synth-heavy track, like just mostly synths, very electronic sounding with sparse vocals. And then I wanted it to slowly build up to this big crescendo of an ending. So here's what I started with. Something like this. Trying to do vocals, really focusing on vocals. That's the thing I need the most work on. This nice little melody comes up. Yeah, so I did, gosh, what is it, like probably 2 minutes of that. I ended up dropping that completely because the outro of the song, the like big crescendo, is what I ended up loving. Here's what this sounds like. It's loud, so headphone users beware. So it all built up to this, and this was maybe the last minute of the track. It's got vocals, my falsetto. I'll talk more about that in a minute. Yeah, and so I ended up doing that. It built up to that section. And then I showed Greta, my wife, the song, and she's like, that outro is the best part of the song. And I'm like, fuck, yeah, I know. So literally yesterday I sat down and I'm like, okay, let's just make it the outro. It's still like 1 minute and 40 seconds, some change. And so I just ended up doing that. And I'm happy with it. It's good. I didn't really love this other part that I had written. I don't say I didn't like it. It just didn't feel finished. It didn't feel like it was ready. Where this outro part really, really worked for me. Yeah, so that's the track I ended up doing. I did a little, so the second half of the outro has this melody. Really at the absolute top range of my vocals. And so what I did is last night I recorded me singing that on acoustic guitar as a little intro, like prelude. Is that the right term? And then it just kicks into the heavy part. So that's the track. The track is a chorus. It's like a single chorus, maybe 2 choruses if you want to consider that. I'm fine with that. I learned a lot. I learned a bunch. 4 tracks of guitar. Again, my typical move where I do 2 tracks with the clean Fender setting. Clean Fender with the distortion. But the Sansamp Fender with the drive from my line 6. And then I do the Mesa Boogie setting, high drive, high gain setting with the same distortion. Fizzly. Sounds like static, but it's great. 2 tracks of vocals, synth bass, because my bass, you can see it back here, it's still in pieces. I have to solder a pickup in, which I'm not super thrilled about. So I'm just using 2 basses. Same drums as always. What else? I think that's it. Oh, the synth. So let's talk about this real quick. I ended up using a VST called Soraboy. Nope, that's the wrong one. Where is it? Here it is. So this is sick. I had mentioned how I was trying to move away from Reason. This is the closest thing I've found to like an actual LSDJ VST. It's pretty close. It doesn't do everything I want. Like it doesn't have all of the functionality of what LSDJ has, or the commands, I should say, if you're familiar with LSDJ. But it's pretty good. I got the sounds I wanted. I'm happy. Now I can just do everything in Reaper. Huge bonus. Plus, it's nice you can do pulse, wave, and noise, which I utilized much more on the initial part that I ended up scrapping. But cool VST, super handy. I dug it. Another one I ended up using is, let's see if I can find it here. Well, this one actually, Deelay, cool delay, free delay. It also does some nice non-delay type stuff. I use this old recording sound on the intro, and then it has even reverbs, which is amazing. And then the other one is Raum's, or what do you call it? Native Instruments Raum for reverb. Killer reverb. I love it. I used pretty much the initial patch on a bunch of stuff, and it rocked. So that was my jump into effects. I also utilized, it's turned off for that track. Let's see where I have it turned on. I have it turned off for a bunch of things. Here, it's got to be on the master track. So Reaper's EQ, as well as Reaper's compression. I found some good presets with this course I've been looking at. I use those presets. And I also, on top of this, the course taught a good, like, beginner's version of mastering. So this is kind of my master chain now to like bring up the volume of the track. I felt like my tracks have been kind of quiet compared to others. So yeah, again, learned a ton this week. Learned a ton. So that's the track. I think that's everything. Go check it out. But let's move on to the last section. What did I learn? So I just covered the Soraboy and Raum. I also used another one called not there, it's here. Surge, which is a bonkers synth that's free. I think it's even open source. Insane amount of presets, ridiculous, more than I could ever need. Probably going to be my go-to synth for any sort of synth non-chiptune sounds I want. So I used bass. I doubled up on my bass for that. Initially, I used that for some parts, but then I just went straight chiptune. So 3 killer VSTs that I picked up this week. Probably going to continue to use those. They were all free. So far, after using them this week, I definitely recommend them. Oh, I learned about sends. So sends. Where did I use sends? I use sends on my synth. So my synths, the Soraboy, basically all don't have reverb on them. You can see this one's just the synth. This one might be just, Soraboy and EQ. And so what I did is I set up a reverb just for all these, and they all get sent to it. So this computer that I'm working on is more than capable, but I use a laptop. And so like this many tracks all with reverbs and EQs and everything would get to be too much. And so it saves on CPU. It was pretty easy. I can't recall off the top of my head. I think you literally just drag this section over to what you want to send to, and then this little thing pops up. But I recommend that if you want the same like reverb across all your tracks. It kind of makes things a little bit more cohesive. It sounds like they're all in the same room. I didn't do that across this whole track. I probably should have, but learning along the way. So sends, I learned about that. Writing on the MPK, on the MIDI keyboard. So typically, I'll go in and I'll throw things down on piano roll. I'll just punch it in. And then it's always perfect. It's always right on time. But you can see with this, I just hit record and played on it. You can see how things are like a little off. And I like how that sounds. It's a little more humanistic. I'm on the wrong track. I thought it would play what I had selected, but that's okay. Yeah, it was much quicker too. This part was so weird. Like here, let me play it. It should play it here. Or no, I got something soloed, don't I? Who's soloed? Okay, the bass. So I just wrote it and it ended up being like a 3 feel in 4. 3 measures of 3, right? It comes out to 12. And I was like, I didn't intend to do that, but because I was playing something and not just programming it in, totally different feel. I think about if you're writing in something like a piano roll, or if you're then writing on a guitar, or if you're writing on a tracker, like it always sounds different to me in either of those just because of the workflow. So MPK, super cool, much fuller parts, different from just plugging in MIDI. And the last thing I'll talk about that I learned was the taking a week off. Again, I wasn't burnt out. I was just trying to protect the flow. I mostly used the time I would be in Reaper working, 1 hour a day. I was like playing games, or like, I think I did a little bit of VST research. But by like Thursday of last week, I like had ideas percolating. I had the whole idea for this like crescendo thing built up, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's like that song. I want to do something like that song. So by the time I think Sunday came, like I just hit the ground running, had ideas, threw them down. By Tuesday, it was like in the flow. It was so easy to hop back into the song, even though I drastically changed it. It was much easier just to hop back into it. So yeah, protecting your flow, protecting your time. Everything was feeling great at the end of the 3rd week, but I was just like, let me take a week off. Let me just do that. So I'm going to try and keep doing that. 3 weeks on, 1 week off, and see how that goes. But yeah, that definitely helped. So cool. I think we're at 12 minutes. I'm going to wrap there. This is a good week. Check out the track. Again, I hope everybody does well. I hope this is a good week, and good luck with next week. And yeah, we'll chat then. Bye.